Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm going to hop into this daily rapid arena and play 2 games. And I'm just going to share my thoughts along the way. All right, game 1. Ooh. All right, I've been playing a bit of this myself recently. Mainly in blitz chess. All right, I don't want to see a pawn duo formed. That's a healthy start. Bishop's happy. And one of these two. Knight f6 or c5. I'll go with c5. In some lines, maybe this knight could think about going to h6. I think it's, in short, a little bit more flexible going with c5. And now that the pawn is on d3, it certainly seems like the bishop is going to end up being fianchettoed. That's the setup. So this knight could go here. I don't have to worry about any pin variation. Alrighty. So question here. Eventually, one of these two, I imagine, it ties in well with the pawn on d3. d3 pawn supports both advances. What setup do I want to go for? And what's my light square bishop going to do? I could play it maybe in a way where I am okay for a bishop, going with a bishop for knight exchange. Also, a fianchetto setup seems healthy. Maybe I just don't know where this bishop belongs for a bit to see how the position develops a bit more. I feel like g6 is healthy. I'll go with g6. No way to take advantage of this open diagonal as far as I could tell. Yeah, maybe it ends up just inside the pawn chain for a bit. I guess I could also maybe consider some setup like this. This is going to hit. Maybe, I wonder. Maybe f5 and knight f6. Try and combat this pawn advance. It's interesting. Very weakening. All right, that's not why I'm going with it, because it's weakening. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a go. So I'm with the setup here where both my knights are going to be tucked behind pawns. I have a little bit more space, but weakening how I'm playing here. I have a hole here, to watch out for knight jumps. So if I'm thinking about fianchettoing, e6 could be especially sensitive. Now I'm also thinking about this one. Spending a lot of time. All right, let's follow through here. This was my intention. Let's put the knight on its favorite square. Okay, so this almost certainly feels like it's not the right way. I mean, there's still a slower setup with this push here. So if I could get one more pawn advance in, maybe I do without castles. Queen d6 or queen c7. Oh, why not stay a bit more central? I'm gonna go here. It feels like she could be cool here. Maybe even after this, I don't have to react to this threat like supporting it. Certainly don't want to take if this chop this half open file. I'd prefer to just sit, retain my 5th rank pawn. Okay, so we're going with that. So I could play this one straight away. Maybe it's important I get that in before white plays in the center. With this, there's sort of a race happening here. So if I castle knight here and then play this, maybe that one is hitting. So maybe I strike right now. I'm going to. because this was a backward pawn, so I'm exchanging it for, might regard f4 as white's best pawn. A downside to maybe note is that this file opens up somewhat for the rook, but f5 is pretty strong, so if I could get a couple more moves in, I'll feel much more comfortable. I still want to get castles in. Okay, I don't have much choice. Is there any fancy pawn move here that I'm missing? It's really the only thing that's crossing my mind. Okay. Gotta push there. Okay, now that's actually something, because that is a fancy move, because there's queen here. May have to play down a pawn shortly. Okay. Although, I mean, I could take, actually, if I back off straight away, then there's the check and I lose the pawn. So I could take first. I was still in this mentality that I wanted to maintain the tension in the event of this push, but in this case, seems like I'm going to have to just go ahead and chop first, and can't take like this. Alrighty. I should probably anticipate this pressure on d5. So where exactly to go with my queen? Here, check, block. I could probably play that as a sacrifice. Give up my b pawn. There's going to be quick pressure here at this point. So if I go here, check. Yeah, I'm gonna go to this square. Knight here, I think I might insert a6. I'm down a lot of time. Oh, I'm also seeing on this check I have queen c6. See, I feel like I could play it as a pawn sacrifice in many cases because there are some serious holes here. Well, not this one, but this one primarily. All right, I think I'm going to follow through with this idea to cut out this jump to, I'm having trouble here. And just cut out the knight jump here. Still a couple moves more. Feeling a bit better now that there wasn't some direct line that's picking off a pawn. A couple more moves, castles, bishop here, put the other rook here, and white's going to start feeling some serious pressure. There is a hole here in my position, but this knight is almost as far away as it can be from getting to this square. So if we try and map out moves, 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to get there. So I'm going to take a timeout here and not castle. I'm going to go with this one because this is an open file. Nearby there's rook c1 in this ID to improve the knight. I want to cut out that knight a4 move. So now is a more appropriate time to castle. And this is also potentially there for a skewer, but primary function was defensive. In this case, move order detail, bishop development. And it took a while. Earlier I was pointing out I wasn't quite sure what it should do. Okay, and there we go. Now we know what it should do. I'm going to win some material now. Bishop b5. My bad bishop springs to life. And I'm going to win material now. Just questioning, should I track down the rook? If here there's this one, take, the rook is saved. Better just kick it into a higher gear. Or actually, this is also super appealing. I'm going to hop in here. Because if bishop takes, I could go like that and I'm on. And also if queen f4 in that case, my queen was defended. I actually didn't see that. But, oh, am I just running into trouble here? Bishop here. Okay, I think I'm getting a little too fancy. I didn't want to have to play like this. Just got a little too fancy there. Didn't see bishop b4 idea. I don't want to take here. Okay, I slipped up. I have to adjust, to readjust. I didn't like the idea of going in for the bishop takes rook. They hit me back, anticipating some pressure here. I've spent a lot of time here. Still going to open up the file. I could reroute the bishop and try to still be a pest. In fact, let me try to be a pest like this. Challenge this rook. This crossed my mind, but no thanks. Don't want to do that. This rook is running the risk of getting stuck. And this one, I feel like I could... let's see if we repeat. I'd rather not weaken just yet. I should have swiped that rook straight away. Yeah, I didn't see that move. Fancy, fancy. Okay. Go here. Rook here, this. I mean, the rook is still close to being trapped. So, you're not out of hot water just yet. That's what I'm trying to do. With the bishops, they should be able to cover all squares. Rook here, this, and I'm supported it here. Possible mates on f1. If queen here, I could, what am I talking about? Queen f2, exchange, and bishop here. Is rook here a move? Yeah, maybe. Okay. Knight there to play some defense. To play a little defense, defend the pawn here. I am on this, so there is a restriction on the queen. Be careful. This is here. Rook's still not out of the woods. Okay, so actually here, I think I'm winning now. Feel much more comfortable with this double attack. I think rook f4 is the only move at this stage. There's still light square problems for team white. Yeah. So I won some material, finally. Okay, and I should definitely get running with this pawn. I figured they had to take like this. And I'll exchange. I gotta go faster. Get to the file and reroute this bishop. Okay. I'll go here, threatening this now. Prefer to come over here. I feel like there's counter punches. Bishop b5, knight c3. Okay. Gotta get rid of it. I think I need to get rid of this bishop. Very strong piece. Really have to pay more attention to the clock here. Yay. Okay, I think I should be okay. Might have to give up this pawn. Just enter with my rook. Yeah, far from clean approach here. Really made a mess of this one. Really made a mess of it. They have a passed pawn. The material count. They have a pawn for the exchange. They're in a pin. I want a rook off. Let's keep this pressure here. How do they get out of that situation without a rook exchange? Really have to pay more attention to the clock here. Move much faster. On a push, I could take. Scare this bishop away. Do have a majority. Bit unfortunate here. I didn't take that rook as soon as I did. All right, let's stay focused here. Try to at least. Not entirely sure what this move is doing. Guess I could look forward to this one. Or, no, I guess I could have maybe still tried that one to get the rook off. I want to get rid of this knight. This would be an irritating post for the knight. Maybe I could flick in this one. H5. If there's another file opened up, wouldn't be upset with that. Could have captured that pawn. All right, I could do it now. I have a block here. I'm on the bishop as well. Possible checks in the air. Multiple checks, maybe. Okay, so now we get the rook exchange. Yeah, we are going to get the rook exchange unless there's this. There's tension on these 2 points. Okay, let's go faster. I want to tame the knight. At this point, oh, actually, yeah, it's fully tamed. It's going to be 1. Not happy with how I played that. I converted it. Yeah, I guess it was a... Let me just point it out real quick. I guess it was an easy move to kind of overlook this idea of a queen retreat, and then all of a sudden there's this counter idea. All right. Anyhow. One more game. Let's see if I could try and convert better. A little too fancy there with knight e4. Just trying to extract the maximum. Like while my opponent was in that restricted state, I thought I could improve a piece with tempo. Alrighty, let's go with d4. d4 and c4. And see what we get. Benoni, I almost felt like I knew that was going to happen. Not quite sure why. A sixth sense. I'm not going to play d5. Okay. Pre-move mode. Taking with the knight, the fearless one. Queen takes. Development with tempo. So we're leaning towards a Sicilian position. Maróczy Bind. Dragon. Let's get this grip over this square. And knight, if I play here, if I play here straight away, there's knight g4. So it's one little baby move. I think this is the correct move order here. I have to recapture with the queen. It's my only way. Bishop there. Boom, boom. Terrible with drawing lines. All right. Let's get that one in. No wonderful knight move just yet to unleash the discovered attack, so bishop here, queen here next. Now that the bishop is defended, this is now a threat. If the knight is exchanged for my dark square bishop, that will not be good. So I have space. I have an excellent jump here on d5. And I need to anticipate, I think at least, this pressure on c4. So rook c8. I also want to get off of this diagonal. I'm playing rook c1 before bishop development. I don't want any tricks happening here. I want to be in a spot to play b3 and secure this point. Okay. a5. I feel like I'm used to seeing queen a5 instead. It's very weakening. b5. Also, this could be a move. These knights are competing currently for these two center squares. If I go here, the knight could go here. And we once more compete for a different set of squares. Dark. This is crossing my mind. Feels healthy. Yeah, I'm not going to make a commitment with my knight just yet. I think my knight is better for a few reasons. Okay, let's see. What were those reasons? All right, let's start out with bishop here. For a few reasons. This knight does not get in the way of any of my other pieces. It's not entirely true. Maybe I should say their knight gets in the way of their bishop, and I think the bishop really wants to see the world. It feels like my knight is more flexible. It ties in well with my pawns, support points. Also, the knight on f6, it disrupts the f-pawn. This could be a move now that it's out of the way. But this is also a jump. So yeah, knight seems more flexible as well. That was really the knight's only option to d7. 3 options for my knight, potentially. I want to be careful about going here because I am allowing a4. This was one of the reasons, okay, and I think maybe this is what black has their eye on. Possible a4 move. I could play where I put in, I play a4. I don't like the weaknesses I created, like the knight could maybe go like this. Here, b6, knight c5. There is an arrangement where you could play it like that, and I put my bishop here, taming the knight on c5. Do I want to allow this move? See, if I castle this and then try to swipe the knight and then here, the queen is recapturing with check. I don't have time for that. So, what other move to consider here? I guess I could jump in right now, but again, I like my knight. I guess I am going to play it where it's going to be completely clamped down. I don't want this rook to spring to life, and I'm willing to create serious weaknesses on the queen side in order to prevent the rook activity. So now the attention sort of turns towards this as the only break here for black as far as I can tell. There's a big question mark over the rooks, like what purpose will they serve? How will they become active? This knight should, I think, immediately reroute. These are the two moves that would be crossing my mind as black, if I'm playing as black here. Knight here, I think before castles, I'm going to go with this. Knight c5 and follow through with bishop here. Follow up queen b6. I don't know, they're even threatening to take that because they're in a pin. We'll see. In response to f5, what would I be doing? To be very careful, because this is, if we somehow f5 chop, if we somehow eventually exchange light square bishops, this knight, a new possibility may be there on the e4 square. Maybe okay, we are seeing f5. I think I chop. I'll chop. Maybe that was too fast. Okay. Probably castle. Position has opened up. I think, neither of us have the greatest structure, but I'd still have 3 next to my king. I have the healthier king. Okay, so we are approaching. We are nearing a light square bishop exchange. I have this idea to win a pawn, but I think this is just a half-dead pawn anyhow. I prefer to get this light square bishop exchange in there first. Yeah, I mean, I'm asking for maybe trouble here. The rook gets some activity. I feel like I'd be off balance there. I'm looking for a more controlled position. I don't want to help my opponent's pieces assume active posts. If knight here, and I take here, knight takes, I could save my bishop with check and then address the fork. That is potentially a way black could go wrong. Chop, chop, knight c5. I really don't want to take. My queen should be pretty cool. As a defender of b2, I don't think it's that great of an inconvenience. And it's really starting to show up here where this knight, it feels at least, is ready to do something really dangerous. Okay, so are going in for that one. Did they slip up? Did they miss that I have an in-betweener here to save my bishop? Could be. Especially that there's a pause right here. Now maybe they're reflecting which way to take, seeing that this wouldn't be a good choice anymore. If take with the rook, I could start to consider now a simplification strategy. Chop, chop, a queen exchange, and then drop a knight here and it can never be removed, although rook d3 in the end is kind of irritating. Maybe I still hold my ground here, watch over this pawn. Normally I wouldn't want to allocate my queen to the defense of a pawn, but I don't think she's that inconvenienced. Let's consider still. I wish I had the rook already here. Let's see. Boom, boom, queen exchange. I get my knight here. Rook there. That's a little too active for me. The rook is ready to factor in as well. I gotta make a move. I'm gonna go with this one. So 2 excellent jumps remain. If the knight is swiped, they're really asking for problems on the dark squares, so I feel like I have the better minor pieces. My minor pieces can function better within this current structure. Light square problems for black, potentially vulnerable king. If I could improve, I see these as improvements. Where does the queen go? What does this rook do? Where is there a pawn break? Okay, the knight is angling for this square. Got it. Let's go here. Don't really see knight b5 as a problem. I want to combat this break right here. I may be leaning towards a dark square bishop exchange. I said I prefer my bishops over theirs. This doesn't mean I should duck this exchange because this is almost always going to be an important defender for black, especially with a bit more fragile shelter, pawn shelter. Any follow-up fork ideas? No. Queen, rook on different color squares, so forget about that. Be careful, no dark square bishop on this diagonal. Queen b5 could be effective. Still looking to slowly improve. I don't see that there should be some rush with bishop d4. This is healthy. This rook isn't doing anything. I'm going to flick that one in. I mean, I guess I could have... I mean, that was so risky. This, and this is now crossing my mind. Oh, also, I could forget about this idea anymore because I would have the queen and rook on the same square. So this maybe should... maybe I should go with this one then. Maybe now I am looking forward to bishop d4. But then there's also a queen exchange idea. Oh, you're going with that idea. Knight here in the end? That's fancy. Oh, push. Are going with that one. Okay, so things are changing. Now, as mentioned, some serious dark square weaknesses, no? We'll go with that one. I don't see any great checks. Different if there was a pawn here on g5. Mate 1. Okay, and now what? I feel like I lost a bit of control here, for sure. Yeah, I feel like I lost some control. Again, didn't want to see this. It was a very interesting approach Black just did there. Very risky, but I mean, my queenside structure is broken open. Should still be better. Oh, I'm missing that there's a really strong move here. Oh, I think rook h5 was a move. Threatening mate and my bishop. Wow. Oh, man. Dodged a bullet there. I think it really was a bullet. Okay, could I take twice here? It's the mate threat at the end. Calculate. Boom, boom, boom. Rook check here. Here. Knight check. Here. No follow-up queen check in that position. Bishop controls d2. Queen can't take twice because the mate threat here. Believe it's winning. One more double check. Boom, boom. Boom. Covering that check. Covering this follow-up check. Check there, here, knight, tricky knights, here, and go for it. Think it's correct. They saw that one. Hopefully my calculation is correct. This is an idea as well. With this as a follow-up check. I think this is winning for me. Very close. Dodged a bullet, I believe. That double attack, rook h5. I don't think I would have had a good response. All right, let's focus on this position here. Knight here. Check, here, check. Oh, I didn't see that there was a queen check. I don't have any choice. Okay, the game continues. I didn't see this as a follow-up. Let's stay focused. I'm going to go here. Mate in one threat. Rook has to fall back. I am up a pawn. I think I want to get out of the knight checks. Seems like I should get out of the knight checks. Rook is tied down. Gotta go a little faster here. Have a slight time lead. I actually thought it was maybe going to be a mating attack there, but not the case. Okay, and now I could simplify into a one king and pawn ending. I am up the pawn. Yeah, and first things first, let's improve the king. All right, and they resigned here. Oh, tough game. plan here, this one, and then go with the candidate pawn first and run for a touchdown. So I just want to look real quick here. I believe I dodged a bullet there. Rook to h5. Yeah, I mean, like this new, not in this position, but this one here. Okay, not losing, but minus 0.4, rook h5. Look what I would have to do. What? What? It's saying king f1. Who's playing king f1? All right, what's that about? Rook takes h6? Rook takes e6? Oh, this is computer chess. Claiming what exactly? Your rook is out of play and going in for an attack. Yeah, I don't know that I'm coming up with that. The other one it was pointing out was the bishop retreat. Yeah, I could see myself maybe playing this one and hanging on to the piece, giving up a pawn. Yeah, got out of control. That was a really interesting idea what my opponent did there. Certainly risky to give up the big dark square bishop. They knew what they were signing up for and playing in this way, but energetic follow-up in the center. Yeah, pretty wild game there. One little dip, rook h5. Rook h5 moment. All right, a couple lengthy games there. I'm going to call it quits right here. Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.